hear from? What's good, man? What's good? What's up? Yeah. We're back. We are fucking back, baby. Man. Here, let me pause this. What's good? What's good, man? Your boy was on vacation last week. We was out of town. Your boy was on vacation. What's goody? We were, hey man, let me fill you in. We went to the mountains. We went to the fucking mountains last week. We was up in Colorado. We hit the slopes. Your boy does not know how to snowboard, but we tried it again. I still suck. But we had a great time in Colorado. It was beautiful. Listen, man, I don't know if y'all have ever experienced this, but we went to grab my girl's sister because we drove up there from Dallas, right? So we went to go get her from the airport, and then we had to drive. We have to go drive through Denver into the mountains, right? And I've never experienced this before, where it started raining in the city of Denver. It started raining. And then as we're going up the mountains, the rain started to slow down. And I noticed that not only did they slow down, but some of them started becoming solid almost. And then you go up a little more and it started to turn into snow. We encountered 3 different like weather conditions in a span of 45 minutes, dog. It was crazy. And tell me how the fact that it's like 10 degrees over there, it feels like 35 degrees in like New York or some shit. It was wild. We had a lot of fun. It was good to go over there because obviously it's when you go to these like ski or snowboarding kind of towns, they're more of like a tourist town. So for us to go over there for Thanksgiving, it was pretty empty. It was nice. We had a great time. I'm pretty sure over the week I had a drink in my hand by 10 a.m. every day, and we didn't stop till nighttime. But I did not get drunk. Not one time. We were drinking every day, but I did not get drunk not one time. I got really close one day though. But I was trying my best to tap in with some of the games. It was a little bit hard because, like I said, it was a vibe. We had great company, great friends. It was dope. Yeah, man. So, but we're back. We had the NBA Cup last night. They have the brackets are finally out. They were doing a whole lot of fucking math on the broadcast yesterday. I was getting a little bit confused. I'll be honest with you. After the drive back, I've been totally out of it. I was totally out of it, dog. It was like 12 hours to drive back or some shit like that from Denver. But we made it. We made it in one piece. New Orleans and Golden State went on vacation too. Hey, let me tell you what though. My boy stayed back, right? One of my homies, he went with us. He stayed back he stayed back because he had to go do some stuff in Denver. So he ended up going to the Denver Golden State game. And I genuinely thought the Warriors were going to win that game until I saw that Draymond was out. And I was like, fuck, well, he's probably not there. This will be close, but I don't think they'll win this game. And they already clinched their spot, so it kind of made sense as to why they weren't full throttle. But that's still my picks, man. How about y'all? How was everybody's Thanksgiving, man? How's everybody's Thanksgiving? I hope y'all had a great week. I hope everybody had a good ass time last week. Man, let's get right into it. What you did last week, Elijah? What you did? What was you getting into last week? Let me see. Oh, and we got to talk about New Orleans later too. Wow, that team is fucked. That team is so fucked. It's not even funny. Let's intro the show. Let's get right into it. So thank you guys for coming in again. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe. All that good stuff. It really helps the channel out. We are trying to take this to the moon, as y'all already know. Let's skip to Christmas. Listen, yo, is it me? Wait, hold on. Is it me or the last couple years, even the entire world has been trying to skip to Christmas? Like we were trying to find some stuff for Thanksgiving, and it was straight Christmas stuff. I'm with you though. I'm with you. I love Christmas. Not really a Thanksgiving person. That's why we didn't really mind just doing something totally different. The only reason I even fuck with Thanksgiving, no lie, I'm not even trolling, is because Bob's Burgers is one of my favorite animated shows. That shit's really good, and that's his favorite. That's his favorite. That's the character's favorite holiday, and so they always have good episodes when it comes to Thanksgiving. But that's besides the point. Welcome to another episode of the Jayson Estrera Show, where we talk about basketball, sports, and any topic that comes our way as accurate as possible. Now, today we are going to be talking about what is going on with LeBron James's career. Is he done? Is it over? What is the media doing? We're going to talk all about him in just a second. And we're also going to talk about the young gun that's supposed to be taking his spot, Anthony Edwards, and the problems that they've been having with the Minnesota Timberwolves. And, of course, we're also going to be talking about the NBA Emirates Cup. The bracket is finally out, so we can take a look at that. But let's get right into it. We'll get into all of those in just a second. I actually wanted to start with a player that I don't think has gotten a lot of praise a whole lot in the last couple years. Honestly, a player that's gotten a lot of hate, in my opinion, and that is with James Harden. Let's take a look at this.
I don't think when I'm in a leash, I'm not meant just shooting the basketball every time. I meant like I think the game and I'm a creator on the court. You know what I mean? So if I got a voice to where I can, hey coach, I see this. You know what you think about this? Then it's like, oh, okay. Like somebody that trusts me, that believes in me, that understands me, that I'm just not I'm not a system player. I am a system. You know what I mean? So. Somebody that can have that dialogue with me and understand and move forward and figure out and make adjustments on the fly throughout the course of games. That's all I really care about. You know, I mean, it's not about me scoring a basketball, scoring 34 points. I've done it already. So that's what I meant by that.
And there you have it with James Harden, who, you know, I'm a top Harden hater. I have to admit, hey, listen, that's totally fine. That's totally fine with me. And you know me, we can have these arguments and debates all you want, all day long, right? But coming into the season, having lost Paul George, Kawhi Leonard not being healthy, I'm the system. Hey, we're gonna get into that in just a second, right? But he's, yet and still, him and Norman Powell, right? I'm not going to say it's just James Harden, but it's James Harden and Norman Powell who has led the LA Clippers to a 14-9 record, which is good for fifth in the West. And I'll be honest, I didn't see this at all, right? And you can argue all day and night about the comment that he made about being a system, but here's some perspective, right? I think more often than not, when you're a star player, especially a scorer, you kind of live outside of the systems that are in place for the team, right? Oftentimes the plays, the sequences that coaches draw up are there to provide structure for the other four players on the floor. Especially when you have a player like a James Harden who can isolate and score 30 plus points per game. Right? And, there's a lot of question going into the season whether or not he could be the Houston Rockets James Harden. And I didn't think he could because of age and because of the way that the NBA's rules have changed a little bit. However, in him saying that he's not a system player, that he is the system, I don't even think he was really that far off. Because, like I just said, typically, when you're a system player, right? I know there's a lot of words in here. That refers to someone that's a role player, for the most part. And James Harden talks about being a creator, right? It's also really important that he's really transitioned into a point guard role in his career, right? Especially now, he's a more of a point guard now than he's ever been in his career. Even in Houston, when they moved him to the point guard, he wasn't a real point guard. Let's be honest. He wasn't a real point guard. The reason he was moved to the point guard position, in my opinion, was so that he can start the offense from damn near half court every single time down. Instead of having him come off of a screen and then do all of that shit, he was the point of attack. And if y'all remember, it was just a lot of high pick and roll action and get the ball to the corner. It wasn't a super complicated system that they were in. And I want to give James Harden credit because he's obviously adjusted to the roles that he's had since his Houston days, right? With the Philadelphia 76ers, and what was that before that? The Brooklyn Nets, and now with the LA Clippers. And, we could just kind of get outside of even James Harden, right? Because he got a lot of backlash for that. But like I said, that is the hard truth, that when you are a system player, typically you're a role guy, right? The plays are put there so that the other guys can touch the ball. Because when you have someone that can have an advantage on pretty much every defender, it's sometimes hard to take the ball out of their hands, and that's when you get called a ball hog and you're shooting too many times. And so these plays are put in place so that the other four players can be a part of the game. Otherwise, you lose them, right? And then, I refer to this all the time, right? Phil Jackson told Michael Jordan that he wouldn't be scoring 30-plus points per game because of the new system that they were putting in place. And what did Michael Jordan do? He proceeded to still score 30-plus points per game. You get what I'm trying to say, right? He didn't necessarily need that system. The system was created so that the rest of the guys would be able to get their touches, and they know where they would get their touches. It wasn't just random, right? Now, and like I said, I just wanted to give James Harden a little bit of credit. He said the other day he doesn't think he's far off from the 40s, and because he had a big game. I don't know if I'm buying that. I think if he puts up 40 shots in a game, Norman Powell's going to have a big problem with him. Norman Powell going to have a problem with him if he put up 40-something shots. That's for sure. That is for damn sure. But yeah, man, shout out to him. He's been killing it. Like I said, an unlikely team to be doing well. Right now, 14-9, dog. I did not even expect that at all. And honestly, if the Phoenix Suns would have had Kevin Durant and he didn't get hurt, they'd probably be further up. I'm just looking at the standings at the moment. OKC is first still in the West. The Rockets, Dallas, Cleveland's lost a couple games now. Yeah, man, the standings are shaking out. I like it. I really, really do. Now, do I want to talk about this shit right now? Fuck it, let's talk about Bron. Let's listen to what Rashad McCants had to say about LeBron James the other day.
All that. This is last year.
No.
If we don't give him his flowers, it's like we're not giving him enough flowers for him to just kind of like want to walk away. Like we gotta bring more flowers, because it's like, to me, it's hindering the game. The stats, the praise, like, we get it. And I'm going to give you flowers because you've done so much for the game. You can't take away the energy he's put in, the hard work he's put in, the blood, sweat, and tears. You can't defy the gravity that he's passed all these greats and he's done all this stuff for the game. You cannot ignore that stuff. But what we're seeing now is a diminishing of the game because a great player will not step aside so other players can be great.
Me writing who?
That's not how it works.
I know.
That's not how. I'm sorry. That's not how it works.
Right
you're
now.
telling me.
That's how it's working right now.
No, you're telling me.
A 40-year-old's taking 28 shots on my team. And I only got to shoot the ball 2 times in the fourth, and you're telling me that's not the way it goes?
Right now? So it's AD's
I'm
thing?
just saying, if you want me to take the reins and you're taking 28 shots at 40 and I'm taking 2 in the fourth, I don't want to hear nothing else come out of nobody's mouth except for move the fuck around.
So that was Rashad McCann, who's, a well-known LeBron hater, right? And there was a lot to unpack. I did think it was really funny how LeBron had however many consecutive triple-doubles. I think it was like 3 or 4 in the span of a week or something like that. And then he had a bad game. And all of a sudden, oh, he's old, he washed, da-da-da-da-da, right? And so, the media is really funny when it comes to stuff like that. They're very fickle, right? But is this LeBron's last year, or should it be LeBron's last year? Because, I've spoken about it just a couple weeks ago, right? He's fallen in love with this modern game. And to his credit, he's turned himself into a 40% three-point shooter. Give the ball to who else? D'Lo, Dalton, Austin. No, facts. But I do think that it kind of hinders the upcoming players. And maybe, and I'll have to think back, but I think it's a similar effect that Michael Jordan had when he retired from the game of basketball, right? The NBA was struggling to find someone to fill those shoes. And when it comes to LeBron James, I think that whether he wants to retire or not, the NBA is currently trying to get as much out of this as they can. Because not only has he been really great, but he's also extremely, extremely, extremely popular. And when you have someone at the top that's just so popular, right, it makes it difficult for other players to break through that. That's not LeBron's fault necessarily, but it makes it difficult. And so that's why what we're seeing now, right? It's as if we don't know who the next great player is going to be. We've had some inklings. We've seen signs of different players. Is it going to be a Jayson Tatum? Is it going to be an Anthony Edwards? Is it going to be a Ja? There's so many, but still we don't know, right? And I think the deeper part about this, right, is LeBron isn't as effective as he used to be. And everyone wants to pretend as if Father Time don't affect LeBron. But there's a reason why he wants to shoot a lot more threes. There's a reason why he wants to stay on the perimeter. Because to put his body through that day in and day out for 82 games of a season and then another, 20 plus games in the playoffs, it's difficult to ask someone at 40 years old to keep doing that. It's extremely difficult. But at the same time, it takes away his greatest asset, which is his ability to attack the paint. You see, LeBron James and his ability to see the defense and to predict certain things, right? If he's not attacking the basket, he now has to try to play chess from the three-point line, which we know is really, really difficult. He could try to put everybody in the right spots all he wants. People cut here, people move there. But if he's not actually attacking the basket to draw attention, then it's not the same LeBron that we saw in Cleveland the first time, in Miami, and in Cleveland the second time. It's just not the same. And their wins and losses are getting impacted by it, right? Now, granted, they're in the Western Conference, so 12-9, they'd be in the top 5 of the Eastern Conference, right? But there's something to be said about Father Time finally catching up to LeBron James. And is he going to want to go through another year of, we maybe get to the play-in, we maybe get to the first round? Does he want to keep doing that, or does he actually want to compete for a championship? Because this team is not it. Just point blank period. This team is not it. Anthony Davis does not apply enough pressure on the defense to be the number one guy on a team. He just doesn't. And then you have a D'Angelo Russell who, you know, I'll always refer to his Brooklyn days when he was just on such a heater, but the type of player that D'Angelo Russell is, he needs a long runway to get into a game, if that makes sense. He's not this super efficient guy that could just get a whole bunch of, he needs to find his rhythm. That's why, what did you see out of D'Angelo Russell? When he would get to the fourth quarter after he's gone through the whole game, that's when he would heat up. But he needed his 14, 15 shots to get there. He doesn't have that room with LeBron James on the team. He's not a Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving can get a bucket in a phone booth on anybody at any given time. Dwayne Wade is one of the greatest two-way two guards that we've ever seen, and also was a hell of a one-on-one player when he got with LeBron. He knew how to pick his spots. D'Angelo Russell is just not that type of guard. And so he doesn't complement LeBron and Anthony Davis extremely well. On top of that, he's a streaky shooter. He's not a knockdown three-point shooter that, you know, I think some people want to pretend that he is. He's a very streaky person. And then what do you have past him? You have Dalton Knecht, Austin Reeves. Both are very solid, but they still need to develop. Toronto. I'll be honest. I think LeBron probably plays one more year, even though I don't think he should. If he goes into his final seasons not making the playoffs, I don't know if that'd be a great look for him. Right? You know, he spoke on the starting five about how he don't see anyone that could take his spot. Well, but if you're not making it in the playoff, then you're not really competing for championships like you said you were going to. So I personally think if I were him, and this is just me, right? If I were LeBron James at the end of this year, I just retire. Regardless of what happens, you just retire. You just call it quits. You played with Bronny. Now you let him do his thing. You've played your career out, and you just retire. Now, will he do that? I don't think so. I think he probably plays one more year. I know they had rumors of him trying to play with Bryce. Lord have mercy if we got to go deal with that shit up until then. Because y'all know how I feel about him playing with his sons on the same team. But and don't get it twisted. This doesn't mean that LeBron James isn't good anymore. I'm sure he's still gonna have massive games this year. But the way he gets his numbers matter to me. They hated on his Olympic showing. I mean he's gonna do whatever he wants regardless, 100%. But it's not the same LeBron James, and that's totally fine. But he needs to be able to take a back seat. Just is what it is. If he's gonna be more of a 3-point shooter, posts up here and there. If that's what he wants to be, he wants to be more of like a secondary, third option kind of guy, catch and shoot. You know, he can put the pressure on the teams when he needs to. That's great. But I think, you know, the media has kind of fooled everyone into believing that Father Time has never caught up to LeBron, and it clearly has. And he's putting up these great numbers still, but like I said, the way you get the numbers matter sometimes. And when you have a player that's applied so much pressure on the rim for his entire career, and that same person is now more towards the three-point line, just settling for threes, it's not going to be as effective, even if his numbers look similar. And I think that's what we're seeing, right? We're seeing a player that can go get his numbers, but does not have the same impact that he used to. And not for nothing, I think that's why he was so great on the Olympics. To your point, Elijah, right? Yeah, I know he got a ton of hate for it. He 100% should have been there. But as the facilitator around a bunch of stars, you saw what he was able to do. And he was great in that. He got his buckets when he needed to, but he was able to just let other people do their thing and really put his passing clinic on. And that's what we saw during the Olympics. But will LeBron play another year? I think he will. If it were me, I'd retire at the end of this season. I don't think I'd want to be knocked out of the first round or not make it to the playoffs in consecutive years. But that's just me. That's just me. Now, to go from a legend, one of the greatest players that we've ever seen, to a player that's really trying his best to make his mark into the NBA, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves and the problems that they've been having. So let's take a look at what Anthony Edwards had to say.
Defensively, how do y'all bring it together?
We've been trying to figure this out for the whole year, man. We thought this was defense was our identity, and it's not looking like it at all. We don't know what our identity right now. Me and Mike was talking about. I think we soft as hell.
We soft as a
team internally. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not to the other team, but like internally, like we soft. Like, we can't talk to each other. Just a bunch of little kids. It's just like we playing with a bunch of little kids, like everybody, like the whole team. We just can't talk to each other, you know. And we gotta figure it out, man, because we can't go down this road.
Is that a communication thing? Is it?
And yeah, no, I've spoken about this team all year long. You know, I've even gone as far as to say this is gonna be, you know, a real key year for Anthony Edwards, right? You know what the saying goes, when it rains it storms, right? When it rains it pours. And that's what they're dealing with currently. I do think it was interesting the way that he called his team out. No, it disconnected. I needed to reconnect. Okay, bet. We back. All right, we back. All right, we're back. Holy shit. I do appreciate the way that he went at his team. To his point, right? It's one thing to be soft to the other guys, which I don't think they are, right? You got a Julius Randle, Rudy want to fight the other team. it's not that, but it speaks to a deeper problem that this team has. That, excuse me, that won't get fixed overnight. He talks about their inability to speak to each other. In another interview, he said everyone kind of closes up, right? Which means critique isn't happening. Everyone wants to point fingers when something does get brought up. And so, to me, that looks like a fractured team. And it's crazy how losing one player can do that to a team. Right? One player. Karl Anthony Towns, who was the rock of that team. He's been the star of that team for a long time until Anthony Edwards came along. Losing one guy completely disrupted the chemistry of an entire team. And for all the shit that Karl Anthony Towns has gotten, I think he deserves some credit for that. For keeping this team together. Whether it was with his play, with his positive attitude, whatever it was he was doing, it was keeping these guys together and it was holding everyone accountable. And for someone that wasn't known as a defensive player, added to this team's defense. And now we have the Minnesota Timberwolves that we see right now. Currently, they're at 10-10, 500. In their last 10, they are under 500 at 4-6. And a lot of the blame is going to end up on Anthony Edwards' shoulders. Rightfully so. He is now the guy on this team. And you can't even blame Julius Randle just coming in. Can't really blame anybody else. And so, when it comes to what are they going to do moving forward, oddly enough, they might have to blow this shit up. They might have to blow this shit up. I told y'all already, with the Rudy Gobert and the Julius Randle incident, you don't just fix that. The way that it occurred. No, it's me, brother. It's not you. It's me. I think my shit is fucking up right now. It's not you. It's not you, bro. I'm pretty sure it's me, because mine keeps disconnecting. You're good right now. Is it choppy or some shit? It's a little choppy. Dog, I'm gone a week and my internet is fucking up. But I really do feel like this Minnesota Timberwolves team is gonna have to blow it up. Oh, the audio is choppy as well. Oh shit. Let me see. But I mean, on that, I don't think it's gonna show up properly on there. All right, we'll just try to we'll try to keep trekking along, and we'll see if it fixes itself in a little bit. We'll see. But what do y'all think, man? I think the Minnesota Timberwolves, they're gonna have to blow this up. They already got rid of Karl Anthony Towns. Anything they do moving forward is gonna be like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. That's just the fact. You know, they had drafted Anthony Edwards, and now I think they're gonna have to really try to build a team around him, as opposed to what they're currently doing, which is just kind of trying to put pieces together, hoping it would work. Jaden McDaniels, I think, is a real solid player. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I think, could be solid. Naz Reid, Rob Dillingham he needs more time in the league. But I think Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley, I think you could keep just as a guy to kind of lead Rob Dillingham. But I think you got to get rid of Rudy Gobert, and you got to get a different type of star other than Julius Randle. That's just my opinion. And, you know, to get to that championship level, now this adds time. right? When you think about having to move pieces around and move players around, if they if they have a massive overhaul on their team, it's gonna add time to their championship, to when they expect to win a championship, right? So a team that was in the Western Conference last year and was expecting to be in the finals in maybe a year or two, now you push that back to 3-4 years from now, right? And excuse me, I wonder if blowing the team up could low-key help Anthony Edwards. What I mean by that is this. If they blow the team up and they move the players around and the team is a shell of itself, that's going to force Anthony Edwards to put up numbers. Can he do that? We'll find out. Can he be a 30-plus point per game scorer in the NBA and be efficient, try to compete for MVP awards, all of these different things, right? Because something that they don't talk about when it comes to competing for championships at an early age, right? You're not able to stat pad. Because realistically, the ideal way for a career to go is you kind of go on a shitty team where you're forced to be the guy and you have to do everything and you get to put up astronomical numbers the way Jordan and LeBron did. And then you build your team, and then, year 5, 6, 7 is really when you start competing in the playoffs and try to make that run. And then you go and get your championship at 27, 28, 29. And then all of a sudden you were able to stack those stats early in your career, because if you expect to compete for championships for the first decade of your career, and then in your 30s try to go get 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, that's just not ideal. It's just not ideal. And so, will this in a weird way help Anthony Edwards' stats? I don't know. We'll see about that, because it really does matter, right? Like at the end of all of these players' careers, when they retire, how many points did you score? Are you in the 25,000 plus points club, 30,000, whatever the case may be? But when you're competing for championships and you're sacrificing your numbers, that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to sacrifice some of those numbers. So we'll see what happens with the Minnesota Timberwolves. I do think that they have to make massive changes, because I think two of those guys don't want to be there, being Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo. And then you just got to figure it out from there. But let's move right along to the NBA Cup. Let's take a look at this bracket real quick, yo. So for the West quarterfinals, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Dallas Mavericks. And then we have the Houston Rockets versus the Golden State Warriors. For the Eastern Conference, we have the Bucks versus the Magic and the New York Knicks versus the Atlanta Hawks. Now, I predicted that the Milwaukee Bucks would meet the Golden State Warriors for the championship game. That's just my prediction. I think both of these teams have been one of the hotter teams in the last couple weeks, and they have star power. Now, when it comes to star power, I wanted to highlight this really quickly, because did y'all watch that Mavs game last night? Did you guys see that Mavericks game last night? How the hell does a team shoot 26 free throws in the fourth quarter? How? I've never seen that in my life. 26 free throws in a fourth quarter? That is unbelievable. Talk about trying to give a team a victory. 26 free throws is... And listen, I get it. Memphis is a small market. I get it. John Moran pulled a gun out on live. Like, listen, I get it. 26 free throws in the fourth quarter is that's insane. 26 free throws is insane. And so with that, the Dallas Mavericks get into the tournament and they get a rematch. They get a rematch against the Oklahoma City Thunder, which I gotta say, if I had to put money on it, the Oklahoma City Thunder win that game against the Dallas Mavericks. With Luka, they still look a little bit choppy, like my audio. They haven't fully figured it out yet. Those guys were really moving the ball around when he wasn't in the game, when he was out. And I think that they still have to find their footing. And then you compare that to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Shea just won Player of the Month. He's been on. For me, we're looking at Thunder, Warriors, and the West semis. Over here, we have the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Orlando Magic. And Franz Wagner has been great this year. But he's going to run into Giannis Antetokounmpo. So I think the Milwaukee Bucks win this game, which leaves us to my New York Knicks versus the Atlanta Hawks. I got to admit, y'all, I don't like this matchup. I don't like this matchup. Where is it, actually? Let's see. Where is this game at? Let's take a look. Where will this game take place? This is on December 11th, so it's next Wednesday. Are they in New York? Oh, Lord Jesus. They are in New York. If y'all know anything about Trae Young, it's like he gets a buff when he plays against the Knicks, and an even bigger buff when he plays in the Garden. This is kind of setting us up for failure. I'm not even going to lie to you. I feel like this is setting us up for failure. You know, obviously I'm going to be going for my New York Knicks. But like I said, I don't love this matchup. And they've had some great games. They've had some bad games. They've been a little bit up and down. And I think they're starting to even out a little bit, right? I think the New York Knicks are starting to even out a little bit. Let's see their last. What's their previous games? Let's see. Dog, where are their last games at? Wait, why is it not? Huh? Let's see. Where's like the stats? Where's the fucking preseason? Where are their? Oh, here it is. I'm tripping. So they won against Orlando last night, beat the Pelicans, barely beat Charlotte, lost to Dallas, beat Denver, lost to Utah. I mean, it's a pretty good stretch that they've been on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they're 9-3 in their last 12. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think we getting set up. Like, I think that game might as well have been in Atlanta. I feel like we getting set up as a Knicks fan, dog. Like, that's not fair. Trae Young love killing the Knicks. So I'm going for my New York Knicks. I will admit I'm not 100% confident in that shit. I'm not. I'm just being fucking honest with y'all, man. And so that leaves us with the Milwaukee Bucks versus the New York Knicks / the Atlanta Hawks. I gotta go with my prediction, y'all. I still think the Milwaukee Bucks and the Golden State Warriors match up for the championship, for the Emirates Cup championship. It's just my prediction. I think, like I said, I think the two teams have looked really good, and they have, like I said, a ton of star power going into these games. I'd love to know what y'all think. I'd love to know what y'all think going into this. Who y'all got going into these into the West semis, East semis, and the championship? That's if I had a pick, that would be my pick. Warriors versus Bucks. What y'all think? Yeah, I'm getting hungry, dog. Your boy gotta eat. When is this? The semifinals, December 14th, and then December 17th is going to be the actual championship game. But let me know, man. Let me know, because I don't think Dallas makes it through. I think the Warriors beat the Thunder in a big matchup early this year. The Cavs. Not for the NBA championship, you fool. They not even in this shit no more. This man said the Cavs. But yeah, book that shit. Book that shit. If like I said, if I'm right on that, I'm gonna go get a lotto ticket. So we got the Golden State Warriors versus the Milwaukee Bucks. They're gonna be playing against each other on December 17th in Las Vegas for the championship. You could book that shit. I got it. But for now, I'm gonna get off of this a little bit earlier than usual. I will see y'all on Friday. I can't wait to catch up on some of these games tonight. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day, man. Y'all have a great Thursday going into Friday. A great rest of y'all week. No. The NBA Cup, Elijah. The NBA Cup. The Cleveland Cavaliers are out, dog. This is it. This is all we got. These 8 teams are all we got. And for this championship, for the Emirates Cup, I think the Warriors and the Bucks are going to play for it. That's just me. I genuinely, I've thought this for like the last 2 weeks. I think the Warriors and the Bucks go at it for the championship. Let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know what y'all think. Now, will Cleveland contend for an NBA championship? That conversation is for another day. Maybe we'll talk about it on Friday. We'll talk about some here. Let me write that down. You want to talk about championship contenders versus championship pretenders. I think we got it. You got Rockets Magic going for the championship. Elijah, you've watched entirely too much basketball to know there is absolutely no way in hell the NBA are going to let both the Houston Rockets and the Orlando Magic into that championship game. Like, come on, dog. There is just no way. The NBA will cancel this motherfucker before that happens. You will never see an Emirates Cup again. The Rockets versus the Magic. I love the enthusiasm. By the way, those two teams are probably the biggest surprises on this. Like, seeing the Houston Rockets and the Orlando Magic. And I think I've spoken about this before. The only reason they're even on this bracket is because they're two of the best defenses in the entire NBA. They are two of the best defenses that we've seen. I'm pretty sure the Thunder is still number one, but the Rockets and the Magic are right there under them. And that's, like I said, the only reason why we're even in this. Oh, and you know what? We'll do that. We'll talk about championship contenders and championship pretenders on Friday, and we'll also talk about NBA defense. Hey, if you a betting man, you lost all your money before you even bet, dog. You lost every last dime, every penny is gone. Hey, remind me not to get bets from you. Remind me, you betting with straight heart. Oh shit. Hey, listen, dog. If you are right on that, you need to go get a lotto ticket because there is just no way in hell that's gonna happen. I would love to see it. I would love to see a I would love to see a 95-93 finish in a modern NBA game. I'll be here for it. All defense, no offense. I'm down. I'm super down. I'm super down. But like I said, that's gonna do it for me, man. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I know I was out for a little bit. We're trying to get back into the swing of things. But I will be back on Friday. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Y'all have a great Thursday. Y'all have a great rest of y'all week, man. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all are the fucking best. Elijah, you already know you're the GOAT, so but I still keep telling you. And as always, y'all could have been anywhere on the internet, but y'all were here with me. And I appreciate y'all for that. So thank you so much, man. I'll see y'all later. Peace, 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 peace. Have a great day, y'all. I'll see y'all later. Peace.